Hey there, welcome back to Marketing Matchmaker, where I get to strip the fluff out of your marketing, simplify your strategy, and help you create a business that you actually love. And today we actually are diving into one of, I think, the most difficult things that people do when it comes to really creating a business that they can grow and scale. And that is why most lead magnets suck and how you can create one that actually converts. Let's be real for a minute. How many times have you downloaded a freebie, felt a flicker of hope, and then never opened it? Or maybe you've created a lead magnet that felt super valuable, but it just sits there gathering dust and absolutely not bringing in clients. The hard truth is that most lead magnets fail because they're either solving the wrong problem or solving too much. And worst of all, a lot of them lead to nowhere. But don't worry, today I am going to break down 5 simple shifts that you can make to turn your freebie or micro offer into a client generating machine. I want to start by saying, I love a good freebie because who doesn't? But let's be real. The internet is overflowing with generic PDFs, forgettable checklists, and the so-called ultimate guides that sound impressive but never actually lead to a sale, or more importantly, give our audience what they really want. I know you know the ones I'm talking about. Because if you're like me or a lot of my clients, you've downloaded them all. You may have skimmed a couple of pages and then poof, they disappear into the abyss of your marketing resource folder to never be seen again. And here's the problem. If your lead magnet is just another throwaway freebie, it's not doing its job. And your lead magnet isn't just about collecting emails. It is about collecting the right emails. The ones from those potential buyers, not just freebie hunters who are looking for a quick tip with no intention of actually stepping into your product, service, or solution. So if your lead magnet isn't converting, I want to dive into why that might be. So we'll start with solving the right problem. A lot of lead magnets fail for one simple reason. They either solve too much or not enough. If your lead magnet doesn't solve enough, it's not compelling enough to make them hand over their email. Or if your lead magnet is too vague or too generic or doesn't immediately address the pressing problem that your audience has, they're gonna scroll on by. And on the other side of that, if you've created a lead magnet that the message brings in emails, but there's not enough of value in the lead magnet itself, again, people keep ignoring what it is that you're trying to educate them on or bring them into your world further. On the other side of that, a lot of emails offer way too much, which means that you overwhelm them with so much information that they never finish it. Or even worse, they feel like you've filled up their cup of knowledge and they have no need to hire you. Instead of creating curiosity or opening their eyes to a problem and guiding them towards your offer, you've given them an entire DI roadmap, so they don't really need you anymore. Here's the fix to that. Choose a small but urgent problem that your clients needs to solve right now. Think of your lead magnet like an appetizer, not the whole meal. It should be satisfying enough to give value and leave them wanting more, which they can get by working with you and actually paying you for your knowledge. So, how do you make your lead magnet convert like crazy? Make it hyper relevant to what you sell. If your lead magnet has nothing to do with your paid offer, it won't bring in the right leads. Think of this as the first step in your sales process. It's not just a freebie. It's not just a download. It is that introduction into how you can solve the problem that they have. And then make sure that you're giving them a quick win, because the best lead magnets provide immediate transformation. Whether that's a mindset shift, a strategy that they can apply, a tool that simplifies their life, a quiz that opens up their eyes. If they can see results fast, they're going to be more likely to trust you for that next step. You also want to make sure that your lead magnet is creating curiosity and urgency. Use a title that makes them think, I need this right now. The more specific and results-driven your promise is, the more irresistible it becomes. So before creating your next lead magnet, ask yourself, would my ideal client be willing to pay even a small amount for this information? If the answer is no, it's probably not valuable enough to generate the leads you want that are going to turn into sales. If the answer is yes, that's what we need to do more of, to collect more people and bring them into your pipeline so that you're able to grow your business in a way that is in alignment with what you want to do. Step 2 in creating a lead magnet that actually brings in your ideal clients is to attract buyers and not freebie seekers. Here's the reality. Not all leads are good leads. If your freebie is attracting everyone and their brother, but none of them are buying, it is time to niche down, to really dial in your message. Building an email list is great. And if your email list is full of people who only want free stuff, you are setting yourself up for frustration. We've all been there. A big list doesn't mean a profitable list. If your subscribers aren't engaging, opening emails, or converting into clients, they're just taking up space in your CRM. Think about it for a second. Would you rather have 10,000 random subscribers who never buy, or 1,000 engaged leads who are ready to invest in what you're doing? In order to fix this, you really need to position your lead magnet for people who are looking for a solution to a problem that they have, not just casual browsers, which means that your lead magnet can't be so broad. When it is too broad, it is attracting people who just want general information, general knowledge. They're not really, they may not be aware of the problem. That is going to take a much longer process to warm them up and get them to the buying point. However, if your lead magnet is laser focused into a solution to a problem that they have right now, they are going to be more likely to be ready to hop on a sales call with you or go straight to buying your product, service, or solution, depending on what that is. So instead of something generic like a free social media checklist, which could attract anyone, especially DIYers who honestly are never going to hire you, try something more along the lines of 3-step framework my clients use to turn social media followers into paying clients without posting every day. This is going to attract those people who have a specific problem. It speaks directly to the action takers. Someone struggling to get clients through social media will see this and think, yes, that's exactly what I need. And it pre-qualifies potential buyers. The title suggests that this strategy comes from your paying clients, meaning you work with people who invest in your product, service, or solution. It positions you as the expert. Instead of just handing out generic checklists, you're sharing a framework you use with real clients, which builds trust and authority. So if your lead magnet isn't leading to sales, it's time to adjust your message. Good question to ask. Again, would your ideal clients pay for this information? take a look at your current lead magnet. Does it attract real action takers? Or is it just another freebie hunter? If it's not filtering out for potential buyers, it's honestly time for a revamp, because your email list could be massive and you're still not making any money. The next step is that your lead magnet should lead them somewhere. Your lead magnet should be the top of a sales funnel, not a dead end. A great lead magnet doesn't just collect emails, it guides them to becoming paying clients. So if your lead magnet isn't naturally leading into your paid offer, it's not doing its job. Creating a freebie that has nothing to do with what you actually sell is a huge mistake. Think about it for a second. If your lead magnet is attracting the wrong people or giving them information that doesn't connect to your product, service, or solution, those leads are going nowhere. Sure, they'll download your freebie, maybe even skim through it, and then crickets, they disappear. There's no engagement, there's no sales. So your lead magnet should be step one of your paid offer. Instead of throwing out random lead magnets, strategically design your lead magnet to be the first step in your customer journey. The goal is for them to get value and also realize that they need more of what it is that you do, which leads them straight to your paid offer. Let's say, for instance, that you sell a high-ticket sales course. A lead magnet that I see a lot could be something like 3 mindset shifts that will lead to better sales. Cool. But honestly, this isn't going to make them want to buy your course. Not really. Whereas if you come at it from the offer that they need right now, we all know that mindset is the best thing when it comes to business. It is how you grow and scale your business. And the reality is nobody thinks about their mindset when it's connected to sales. So that top of the funnel offer needs to be more strategic and conversion driven so that it focuses on what their problem is right now and will lead directly to the course that you've created. So something along the lines of a script for overcoming objections. Once they have the script, they're going to want deeper training on how to use it effectively, which is inside your course. Or maybe it's a template for DM outreach, if that's what you specialize in. They'll get excited about using it, but may struggle with execution, which then leads them to your course. That's what we mean when we think about a high-level strategic lead magnet. It gives them a taste of success of what you can teach them. It builds the small win then builds trust and makes them more likely to buy from you. And it also creates a gap that they're going to want to fill because they start to understand what it is that the problem is. And then they realize that they need the how, which is exactly what you are selling them. And it extremely transitions into your paid offer. No awkward pitching, just a really natural next step. So your lead magnet should act almost like a movie trailer, enticing them with just enough to make them want to step into the full experience. If your freebie is delivering massive value, but doesn't lead naturally into your paid offer, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. The next thing that I want you to look at is that it is simple and actionable. Let's be very clear here. Your lead magnet is not the end all be all of your business. It's not meant to show everything you know, every corner of your expertise, or even overwhelm your audience with 40 pages of content they'll never read. Honestly, I've made this mistake myself in the past. And your lead magnet Well, it should be a teaser, something short, something immediately useful. It should give your ideal client a win. And if you can do it in 10 minutes or less, more power to you. It should also leave them thinking, if this is what I get for free, imagine what the paid stuff is like. The truth is that we live in a world of content overload. Your audience doesn't need more information. They need clarity, simplicity, and speed, honestly. If they have to block out an entire afternoon just to read your ebook, it's not an lead magnet, it's homework. Now, I will also say on the other side of that, sometimes your audience might need homework. And if they do, that's okay. Just know going in exactly how you're setting this up. Your lead magnet should be easy to consume, fast to implement, and directly lead to results they want right now. Think small but mighty, right? What is that problem that they are struggling with right now that you can solve? Oftentimes, people don't know what the underlying structural problem is in their life, their health, their business. They simply focus on this problem that they have. If you can solve that problem and bring awareness to the other structural problems that they need to fix, you've got a win-win for everyone. When someone can act on your lead magnet instead of just learning from it, they are going to learn to trust you faster. And trust is what leads to sales. So make sure that your lead magnet is solving a specific urgent problem. It's directly related to your paid offer, and it includes a clear, compelling call to action that moves them into that next step. Because at the end of the day, the goal isn't just to give value. It's built to build momentum, to create a funnel that consistently brings in buyers. So give them a taste of what it's like to work with you and leave them hungry for more. The last step in creating a killer lead magnet is the follow-up, because the real magic happens in that follow-up sales sequence. If you've created a killer lead magnet and people are opting in, your email list is growing, that's amazing. But if you're not following up with those who are not immediately ready to buy, you're not making that connection. And you know what happens? Those fresh, warm leads, they go cold. They forget who you are, what you do, and why they downloaded your freebie or took your webinar in the first place. I had a client when he came to work with me that did exactly this. He had a fantastic webinar that gave them tons of value and actually had a pretty good conversion rate into his paid offer. The problem was that he left all of those people that didn't convert immediately just sitting there dying on his email list. When we were able to create a strategic follow-up sales system for this, it then turned all of those people, well, not all, but a lot of those people, into actual buyers, just at a little bit later date. You want to think about your lead magnet as like a doorway. The real relationship and revenue comes from what happens next. So if you're able to set up a sales follow-up system, which doesn't have to be complicated or even fancy, it just needs to be intentional and consistent. When we did that for my clients, we added $30,000 a month in revenue into their business. So think about this piece as the dating phase of your marketing, right? You wouldn't just introduce yourself, give someone a gift, and then ghost them for 2 weeks if you were dating, right? You want to communicate with them, connect with them, maybe ask them on to the next step in the relationship. So your lead magnet isn't just about growing your list. It is about growing your client list, which means having these pieces in place in a way that actually creates momentum in your funnel. The best performing lead magnets don't just give value. They create a process that is repeatable and that brings in buyers. They solve a real urgent problem. They attract buyers, not just browsers. They lead seamlessly into your paid offer. They deliver quick, actionable wins. And they should kick off a nurture sequence that builds trust and sells. And that might sound simple on paper, but oftentimes creating something that checks all those boxes and does it well is where a lot of people get stuck, because this isn't just about content creation. It's about intentional strategy. And there's a difference between creating any old freebie that sits in someone's inbox and one that really leads to booked calls, new clients, and high ticket sales. And that difference, it's rarely about more information. It is almost always about how everything connects together. So if your current lead magnet isn't pulling its weight, if it feels disconnected from your offer, or it isn't leading to conversions, then this might be the perfect time to rework it in a way that makes it a powerful entry point into the customer journey. And that, my friends, is exactly what I do with my clients. We help create things that don't just grow their list, but lead to growing their revenue. So if you are looking to make a lead magnet or funnel that actually works for you, head over to yourmarketingmatchmaker.com and schedule a free strategy call. We'll walk through what's working, what's not, and how to create a lead magnet that doesn't just get downloads, it actually delivers results. And I promise that you will walk away with at least one actionable item that will help you to grow your business, increase your revenue, and scale your impact. Also, before I go, if you have questions, tag me at virtualmarketingexperts.com or virtual marketing experts on Instagram. I'd love to hear your biggest takeaways. And don't forget to share this episode or subscribe for more no fluff, high impact marketing tips that will actually help you to grow your business. Until next time, keep it simple, keep it strategic, and keep marketing like you mean it. Thank you for listening to the Marketing Matchmaker podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear your feedback. Please head over to Apple, iTunes, and leave a review so we can hear from you. And if you are a coach, consultant, or online course creator who are looking to grow your business, increase your income, and scale your impact, connect with me at yourmarketingmatchmaker.com. I look forward to hearing from you.